Hey everyone, it's Zach with Palantir Research. Shyam Sankar, Palantir CTO, just tweeted Sunday night he's pumped to welcome Calypso AI, and that's the Palantir through their FedStart program. So I'll go over the significance of this deal and who Calypso AI is, and what I like specifically about Palantir working with Calypso AI and what it kind of means, as well as the downstream impacts that should have for Palantir and their overall government business through this program. So the tweet first, Shyam the CTO welcomed Calypso AI while noting the FedStart program has been around now for about 1.5 years, helping startups fast track their way onto IL5 and IL6 required security certifications. Now, these are very hard to get. IL6 has only been obtained by Amazon, Microsoft, and Palantir. So yeah, there's not a lot of people who have this. It takes a lot of time, money, administration, as well as relations. And for a quick background on those, I have made a video on this program before and how it can secretly solidify Palantir as a monopoly, or at least an oligopoly alongside those other players for the government business, especially when it comes to that IL5 and IL6 certifications. Even if Palantir takes a piece of these smaller startup contracts, it provides those little companies so much more opportunity to fast track their way into government work that requires these IL certifications that take a lot of time, money, and connections like I mentioned before. And after spending all that time, it's not even guaranteed they can get it themselves, so why not fast track that and work through Palantir? So you can always check out my video after if you want more detail on that, but back to the deal itself. Calypso AI specifically works in the deployment of LLMs for organizations. Just a quick background though on Crunchbase, we already get a good idea of how young and small this organization is. In total, it looks like they've raised about $38 million for their runway and a small workforce of 11 to 50 people and have only done a Series A funding up to this point. So on what their focus is, it sounds like they're just trying to get money and get into contracts that can show that they can bring in money with their services or their business model. From what I can find is that they are playing the guardrail piece specifically for deploying AI models. The founder of Calypso AI focuses on the testing, validating, and monitoring of internally and externally developed AI apps, and this is prior to their deployment before you can wreak havoc if something's wrong with them. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Doesn't this kind of sound like what AIP is supposed to do? They've talked about guardrails before and setting those up. Well, to a certain point, I would say yes, there is some overlap here, and this is where some speculation on my part is going to kind of happen. The IL security isn't there for Calypso AI, right? So they themselves don't have it. So even if there isn't overlap with AIP, they have to go through this FedStart program to at least work with trusted vendors of these kind of government contracts that require that security level. Now, to the extent of my understanding of AIP and what has been shown by Shyam at the first AIP Con, we know AIP from Palantir is designed around coordinating the internal and third-party LLMs with proprietary and third-party data, and this is all in a homogeneous way of running on top of an ontology that ties in organizations' data all together with actual relationships between data sources where things can actually affect each other. Now, AIP is kind of this glue tying everything together, right? And Calypso AI may be an important piece that, in their words, help facilitate the flow of information from employees into a company's model that they so choose. Now, what I think is great overall for Palantir from this deal is that despite these overlaps in what you'd expect, it seems Palantir has already shown itself to be an infrastructure play when it comes to not only deploying LLM models, which everyone is talking about, but also deploying these kind of adjacent products like security around LLMs, which is Calypso AI. So this layer that Calypso is attacking in the ecosystem is a little bit nitty gritty, while Palantir, it sounds like, is more of the umbrella over everything, kind of hosting this. Of course, there may be some guardrail functions as well that you can set up and do, but maybe this is something that can be automated as well as put into your system while working on AIP. Now, this is a single company that I'm focusing on, of course, from the news, shouted out by Shyam. But when you think of it this way, this kind of increases the opportunity available to FedStart and AIP to these kind of plays where the focus in the media is LLMs. But how about the fine tuning of LLMs, the way and timing they're deployed, Apollo? All of these threads start to stick together here. And I think this ecosystem thought of Palantir, where they can tie all their products together around artificial intelligence, really shows it can stick. Now, I think it's great to see these early startups get tied to Palantir so early because the reliance and momentum that they can provide early on to the smaller customers can really scale their business alongside Palantir, albeit in a different way. So instead of building off of a Foundry operating system that we've seen for Foundry for Builders, it's rather through these security certifications that they can't obtain so easily, and they may actually never get those themselves, which kind of makes that turn into an oligopoly, like I said. So it just makes more sense if you're to go with Palantir, get started right now, get that revenue now. But then once you're stuck on the program, I'm not going to say stuck because it kind of sounds bad, but once you're on that program here, it really does make sense to just scale up alongside Palantir, because then you have to do all that other work that you didn't really sign up for, which is mostly administrative to ensure your security for IL5 and IL6. But what are your thoughts on all this? It's always great to hear about a new deal here, and it's nice when it's a smaller company as well, because I like to see Palantir get in at the ground floor, especially when they're going into clients. But let me know below, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, and usually the video ends here, but if you made it this far, I just wanted to let you know I actually have a channel membership program just set up. It's a single program at $4.99 a month that comes with, of course, stylish Palantir Research member badges that show how long you've been a channel member. But also, I'm going to post exclusive channel member content that gives you a sneak peek into videos before they're of course published, just like this one giving you a heads up that I'll be producing shortly. Now, you all know I'm pretty quick to cover the news there, so this gives you the hours ahead of time to bring me your ideas you want discussed or even questions answered in an upcoming video before it's even out. And I'll be creating more exclusive member content over time as well, so current and new channel members, feel free to give me suggestions on any of my videos or member posts for any ideas on what kind of benefits you'd like as a channel member. But all this is totally voluntary, and I'm just grateful for any support you can give, which is even your time and attention watching my normal videos. This is just for those who want to contribute a little extra to the channel, and I truly appreciate it. But thank you all for listening, and now I'll see you in the next video.